Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about something that's pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Google has created an AI co-scientist. And get this, it uses their Gemini 2.0 platform.
It's pretty incredible stuff.
It is. Just imagine having an AI partner like right there with you, helping you brainstorm research ideas.
It's like science fiction becoming reality.
Right. So today we're going to be exploring what this AI can actually do, how it works.
Some of the amazing things that have already been accomplished with it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And of course, what this means for the future of research, like in general.
The big picture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And get this AI has already managed to replicate a decade's worth of human research in just 2 days.
It's remarkable how fast this technology is moving.
It really is. Okay, so first,
What does that even mean?
yeah, let's unpack what this AI co-scientist actually is. It's built on this Gemini 2.0 platform, and honestly, the features are super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, the potential here is massive.
It is. So can you explain what exactly a multi-agent system is? It sounds really complicated.
Well, it's actually not as complicated as it sounds. Think of it this way. The AI is designed to work like the scientific method itself.
Okay.
It breaks down these big, complicated research tasks into smaller, interconnected parts. And each agent in the system has a very specific job, kind of like specialists on a research team.
Okay, at it.
Some focus on generating hypotheses, others check them against what's already known, existing research,
Right.
and some even refine the ideas based on feedback from, human researchers.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's like this really well-coordinated system all working together.
So it's basically like having a whole team of AI scientists all working on a problem together.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Wow. That is incredible. And you don't even have to know how to code to use it.
Nope, not at all. You can just type in your research questions like you would talk to a colleague.
Really? So just plain English.
Plain English, which is huge because it means that scientists from all sorts of backgrounds,
Yeah.
even ones who aren't the, computer scientists, can use this AI in their work.
That makes it much more accessible.
Exactly.
So if I'm a scientist and I'm using this AI, how does it actually help me come up with like testable hypotheses? Like what are the key features?
So let's say you have a research question.
Okay.
You type it in, and the AI uses its huge database of knowledge to suggest possible explanations that could be tested.
But how does it know which hypotheses are good ones? I mean, there could be so many possibilities.
Right. So that's where this tournament-style evaluation comes in. Imagine each hypothesis is like a player in a tournament competing against each other.
Okay.
The AI uses a system called ELO ratings to rank them based on their potential.
ELO ratings, like in chess.
Exactly like in chess. The hypotheses that seem most likely to lead to important discoveries, those rise to the top.
So it's like a survival of the fittest, but for scientific ideas.
Yeah, kind of a cool way to think about it.
It is. And
Yeah.
it doesn't just rely on its own knowledge, right?
No, definitely not. It's constantly learning and refining its ideas by connecting to all of the existing scientific literature
Oh, wow.
and publicly available data sets.
So it's like this massive cross-referencing system.
Exactly. It can check its hypotheses with the latest research findings.
And it can even like pull in data to support those proposals.
Exactly. It's like having a research assistant who has read every scientific paper ever published and can instantly access any data you need.
Wow. Okay, but what if I, as the researcher, disagree with the AI's suggestions?
That's totally fine. The system is designed to work with you, not against you.
Okay.
So you can tell it with hypotheses you think are promising.
Right.
Or point out, any concerns you have. That human feedback is really crucial for the AI to kind of like fine-tune itself and make sure that it's aligned with your goals.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like a real partnership?
Exactly. A true collaboration.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about speed for a minute, because I know everyone's thinking about this.
Yeah.
How much faster can this AI co-scientist generate hypotheses compared to like the traditional way?
Well, early testing suggests that it could potentially cut the time it takes to go from question to hypothesis from weeks or even months down to just a few days.
Wow, that is a game changer.
It is a huge advantage.
Yeah. It's like having a super-powered research assistant who never sleeps.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I know we've got some really amazing success stories to talk about.
Oh yeah, this AI is not just theoretical, it's already making some real waves in the scientific world.
So give us some examples, like what are some of the highlights?
One of the most impressive things is that this AI was able to independently match discoveries made at institutions like Stanford and Imperial College London, even though those discoveries hadn't even been published yet.
So it's not just catching up to what we already know, it's actually pushing the boundaries.
Exactly. It's like it's making discoveries on its own.
That's incredible. In what areas?
Well, for example, in antimicrobial resistance research, the AI was able to discover a brand new way that genes are transferred, something that human researchers had never even found before.
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Are there other examples?
It's also been able to suggest potential new drugs for treating liver fibrosis,
Oh, wow.
which is huge for the world of medicine.
It is. So this has like very real-world applications.
Very real-world application.
I think we saved the best for last, right? Tell me about the research on bacterial evolution. This one just blew my mind.
Yeah, this is one of the most mind-blowing examples, I think. It was able to come up with a hypothesis about bacterial evolution
Okay.
in just 2 days that took human scientists at Imperial College London a full decade to reach.
Wait, 2 days versus 10 years.
That's right.
That's insane.
It really shows just how much potential AI has to speed up the pace of scientific research.
Like, what if we could do that with everything?
Imagine condensing years of work into just days or even hours. It could revolutionize pretty much every field.
That's amazing. Okay, so before we get too carried away, I do want to mention that Google is currently granting access to this AI through what they call a trusted tester program.
Right. It's not just widely available to everyone yet.
So tell me about this program. Who gets access and what are they trying to achieve with it?
So it's open to select research organizations around the world that have been vetted by Google.
So it's very carefully controlled.
Very carefully controlled. The selection process is quite strict.
So what are the goals of this program?
Well, one of the main goals is to figure out how well the system performs in different scientific fields.
So is it kind of like a real-world beta test, but with much higher stakes?
Yeah, you could say that. Another key goal is to explore this whole idea of AI-assisted scientific discovery, but to do it responsibly and ethically.
That makes sense.
They want to make sure the technology is being used for good and really think through any potential risks.
Yeah, like what could go wrong? Because that's a valid concern.
It is a valid concern. So they're taking a very cautious and measured approach.
It's great that they're being so careful considering how powerful this technology is.
Yeah, it has the potential to revolutionize scientific research, so it's important to get it right.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about all this amazing potential, but now let's talk about the limitations and potential challenges that come with such a powerful AI, because no technology is perfect, right?
Of course not. Every technology has its limitations and things we need to be aware of.
So what are some of the limitations and things we need to consider when it comes to this AI co-scientist?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is data quality.
Okay.
Like any AI system, the co-scientist is only as good as the data it's trained on. If that data is incomplete or biased, it can lead to inaccurate or misleading results.
So it's like the old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. And even with perfect data, there's still the challenge of understanding how the AI actually makes its decisions.
Yeah, because these AI systems can be kind of a black box, right?
Right. You don't always know exactly how they arrive at their conclusions, which can make it hard to fully trust their findings.
That's true. So how can researchers be sure they can trust the AI's suggestions if they don't know how it's thinking?
That's a key question that researchers are still working on.
Yeah.
Finding ways to make the AI's decision-making process more transparent.
Right.
That's a crucial area of ongoing research.
It's like having a brilliant partner, but you have no idea what's going on in their head.
Exactly. It can be a little frustrating.
Okay, so can this AI be used for research in any scientific field?
That's a good question, and it's something that researchers are actively exploring.
Right.
The early results are promising, but it's too early to say for sure if it will be equally effective across all disciplines.
Right.
Some fields might be better suited to AI assistance than others.
That makes sense. Okay, now the big question that everyone is thinking about, are scientists going to be replaced by robots?
That's a valid concern, but Google has been very clear that this AI co-scientist is meant to work with human researchers, not replace them. It's a tool to enhance our abilities, not to make us obsolete.
So it's more of a collaboration.
Absolutely. The goal is to combine the best of both worlds, the creativity and intuition and ethical judgment of humans, with the speed and processing power and pattern recognition abilities of AI.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having this amazing superpower at your fingertips.
Yeah, exactly like having a superpowered research partner.
So if this is what's possible in just the early stages of this technology, what could the future hold?
That's the exciting part. It's really hard to even imagine what will be possible in 5 or 10 years.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary, but mostly exciting.
I agree, mostly exciting.
So in this first part of our deep dive, We've really tried to unpack the amazing capabilities of this AI co-scientist.
Right. We've looked at some of those really impressive achievements early on.
Yeah, and we've also talked about some of the really important limitations and considerations to keep in mind.
Because it's not all sunshine and roses, there are definitely challenges.
Exactly. But we've really only just scratched the surface here.
There's so much more to discuss.
There is. We're just getting started.
This is groundbreaking technology, and it has huge implications for the future of scientific discovery, and we're going to keep digging into that.
Exactly. But we're going to save that for the next part of our deep dive.
Yeah, stay tuned.
So thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll be back soon.
See you next time.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of our deep dive into Google's AI co-scientist. And I'm still thinking about how much this AI can already do. It's really amazing.
It is remarkable. The pace of these advancements is incredible.
Yeah, it really feels like something out of science fiction.
Right. It wasn't that long ago that an AI actually partnering with scientists was just a fantasy.
Exactly, and now it's becoming a reality.
And the implications are huge. I mean, think about how we understand the world, how we solve problems.
It's really a fundamental shift.
It is.
So we talked about some of the potential challenges in the last part, but I want to go back to the Trusted Tester program for a minute.
Yeah, it's worth taking a closer look.
It really is. So for those who missed the first part, can you just remind us what this Trusted Tester program is all about?
Sure. So basically, it's Google's way of giving a select group of research organizations early access to the AI co-scientist.
And it's not just any organizations, right? They're being very selective.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're looking for organizations that have a really strong track record of ethical research practices and a deep understanding of their field.
So it's not just about having the technical skills to use the AI. It's also about using it responsibly.
Exactly. Google wants to make sure this AI is used for good, and they're being very careful about who they give access to.
That makes sense. So what are they hoping to learn through this program? Like, what are their main goals?
Well, one of the big goals is to get real-world feedback on how the AI performs in different scientific areas.
So like a giant beta test, but with some of the best scientists in the world?
Exactly. They want to see how it works in different research environments, what it's good at, what needs improvement, how different researchers interact with it.
And all of that feedback will help them refine the AI.
Precisely. Another really important goal is to thoroughly investigate any ethical implications.
Oh, right, because there are a lot of ethical considerations with AI.
There are, and they want to be proactive about identifying any potential risks and figuring out how to address them.
So they're not just waiting for problems to pop up. They're trying to prevent them.
Exactly. They're taking a very careful and deliberate approach, which is really important given how powerful this technology is.
It is. They're trying to walk that fine line between innovation and responsibility.
Right, because this AI has the potential to completely revolutionize scientific research, but they know they have to be careful.
It's a delicate balance, for sure.
Oh.
So what about the testers themselves? What are their motivations for participating?
Well, for one, they get to use cutting-edge technology that could potentially speed up their research significantly.
That's a big advantage in the competitive world of science.
It is, but it's more than that. They also get to be part of something much bigger.
Like what?
Like they have the opportunity to shape the development of a technology that could change the world.
So it's not a one-way street. They're active participants in this process.
Exactly. Their feedback, their insights, their experiences, all of that is incredibly valuable in making sure this AI actually meets the needs of the scientific community.
It sounds like a win-win for everyone involved. Google gets valuable data, and the testers get to be at the forefront of a potential scientific revolution.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a true collaboration that could have a really big impact.
Okay, so it all sounds incredibly promising. But let's be realistic for a moment. There have to be some challenges that both Google and these trusted testers are going to face, right?
Of course, any project this big, especially when you're dealing with something as complex as AI, is going to have its share of bumps in the road.
Like what? What are some of the things that could be tricky to manage?
Well, one challenge is going to be the sheer complexity of the AI itself, making sure it integrates smoothly into existing research workflows.
Because scientists are used to working in specific ways, right?
Right, and introducing a new tool, especially one as powerful as this, is going to require a lot of planning and adaptation.
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. You have to make sure the AI complements how researchers already work, not disrupt it.
That's a good analogy. Another challenge is going to be preventing bias in the AI.
Right, because we talked about how the quality of the AI's output depends on the quality of the data it's trained on.
Exactly. And if the data is biased, the AI could unintentionally perpetuate those biases and lead to inaccurate or unfair conclusions.
So it's not just about having a lot of data. It's about having the right kind of data that's diverse and representative.
Absolutely. And Google is working hard to address this, but it's an ongoing challenge that requires constant attention.
It's like you have to constantly be on the lookout for bias and make sure the AI is being trained fairly.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. And then there's the challenge of information overload, which might sound a little ironic.
How so? I thought the whole point of the AI was to help researchers sift through massive amounts of data.
It is, but this AI can generate so many hypotheses and insights so quickly that it could actually overwhelm researchers.
So it's like drinking from a fire hose of information.
Exactly. Researchers are going to need strategies to filter and prioritize all of the output they're getting from the AI.
It's like having a research assistant who's maybe a little too enthusiastic.
Right. They're coming up with great ideas, but you have to figure out which ones to focus on.
That's funny. And then, of course, we can't forget about the challenge of transparency and explainability.
The black box problem.
Exactly. As these AI systems become more complex, it becomes harder to understand how they're making their decisions.
And that lack of transparency can erode trust, which is a problem in science where you need to be able to verify and replicate results.
So it's not enough for the AI to be brilliant. It also has to be able to explain itself.
Exactly. That's going to be a key hurdle to overcome as AI continues to develop.
So these are all really important considerations. It's clear that developing and using this AI co-scientist responsibly is a complex undertaking. But even with all these challenges, the potential benefits are just too big to ignore.
I agree. This AI has the potential to accelerate discoveries, unlock new knowledge, and ultimately help us understand the world better.
It's like we're adding this incredibly powerful new tool to our scientific toolkit.
And with any powerful tool, it all comes down to using it wisely and ethically.
So what can we as individuals do to make sure this technology is used for good? I mean, we're not all scientists or AI specialists, but we can still play a role, right?
Absolutely. This is a conversation that everyone needs to be a part of.
Okay, so what can people do?
Well, first of all, stay informed, learn about AI, what it can do, what it can't do, how it might impact your life.
Right? Because knowledge is power.
It is. The more you understand, the better equipped you'll be to participate in this important conversation.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly. Engage in discussions about AI, demand transparency and accountability from the people developing and using these systems.
And advocate for policies that promote ethical AI development and ensure fair access to these technologies.
These are all crucial issues that we need to be thinking about and talking about.
We've covered a lot of ground in this second part of our deep dive. We've talked about Google's approach to responsible AI development, the challenges and opportunities of this technology, and the importance of public engagement.
It's been a really interesting conversation.
It has, but we've only scratched the surface. There's still so much more to explore.
There is, and we're going to continue this journey in the next part of our deep dive.
So join us for part 3, where we'll delve even deeper into the implications of the AI co-scientist for the future of science and society.
Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the conversation going.
Welcome back, everyone. We're on the final part of our deep dives into Google's AI co-scientist.
Part 3.
It is, and I have to say, my mind is still blown by everything we've talked about.
It is amazing stuff. I agree.
It really is. So we've talked about this AI's incredible capabilities, the benefits and the challenges, all the ethical aspects, and, of course, Google's Trusted Tester program.
Right. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Yeah.
But now I want to kind of step back and look at the bigger picture.
So big picture.
Yeah. What does the emergence of this AI co-scientist actually mean for the future of science?
It's a big question everyone's asking.
Like down the road, what could this look like?
Yeah, researchers, ethicists, philosophers, everybody's thinking about this.
It feels like we're on the edge of this whole new era in science.
Definitely. A lot of anticipation.
It is. So let's put on our futurist hats for a minute.
Okay.
And try to imagine some potential scenarios. So if this AI co-scientist actually lives up to its promise,
right,
what could scientific research look like in, let's say, 10 or 20 years?
Well, one possibility is that the pace of scientific discovery could just skyrocket.
Yeah, like exponentially faster.
Imagine groundbreaking findings happening not over decades, but over years or even months.
That would be incredible. What kind of impact could that have on our lives?
I mean, the possibilities are huge. We could see cures for diseases that have plagued us for centuries.
Oh, yeah.
Solutions to climate change and other environmental problems. Maybe even technological advancements that we can't even imagine yet that would totally change how we live.
It's like all those science fiction dreams we had as kids are suddenly within reach.
It's pretty exciting to think about.
It is. But it's not just about speed, right?
No, definitely not.
Like the whole way research is done could change too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Imagine AI co-scientists and human researchers working together like side by side.
Oh, like a true partnership.
Yeah, a real collaboration,
Yeah.
each contributing their unique strengths.
That would be amazing.
The AI could analyze huge data sets, recognize complex patterns, generate hypotheses,
Okay.
and then human scientists could focus on the big picture thinking, the
Right.
creative leaps, the ethical considerations that AI just can't handle.
So it's not about replacing human scientists.
No, not at all.
It's about giving them the tools to be even more creative and insightful.
Exactly. AI could become an essential tool for scientists, just like microscopes and telescopes were in the past.
Right. Those were game changers in their time.
Exactly. And this
Right.
could be even bigger.
Okay. So this is all really fascinating. But we have to be realistic too. There have to be some downsides.
Of course.
We talked about the ethical concerns, but what about like broader societal implications? What should we be thinking about?
Well, one concern is that this could widen the gap between the haves and the have-nots.
In terms of like access to knowledge and resources?
Exactly. Access to these advanced AI tools might end up concentrated in the hands of a few wealthy individuals or institutions or even countries.
So not everyone would benefit equally.
Right. It could create a scientific elite, and that could exacerbate existing inequalities.
That's a really important point to consider.
It is. And then there's the concern about job displacement.
Yeah, that's a big one. People are worried about robots taking over their jobs.
And it's a legitimate concern. I mean, as AI becomes more sophisticated, it's inevitable that some jobs currently done by humans will become automated.
And that's going to happen in science just like it's happening in other fields.
Exactly.
But does that mean mass unemployment?
It's hard to say for sure, but historically, new technologies have always created new jobs, even as they displaced old ones.
So it's more like a shift in the job market.
Right. The key is to be prepared for those shifts and to make sure people have the skills and training they need to adapt.
And to make sure that technology serves humanity.
Exactly, not the other way around. We need to be in control and guide these developments responsibly.
That's such an important point. It's not just about the technology itself, but about how we use it and how it impacts society.
Right. It's a much bigger conversation.
It is. So we've talked about the potential, the challenges, the ethical considerations, the societal implications. It's been a lot to process.
It has. It's a complex topic.
But now I want to ask you one final question.
Okay.
What can our listeners do, even if they're not scientists or AI experts, to make sure that AI is used for good?
That's a great question. And I think there are a few things everyone can do. First, stay informed.
Okay.
Learn about AI, how it works, what it can and can't do, how it might affect your life.
Be an informed citizen.
Exactly. The more you understand, the better equipped you'll be to participate in this important conversation.
And don't be afraid to speak up.
Right. Engage in discussions about AI. Ask critical questions. Demand transparency and accountability from the people developing these technologies.
And advocate for policies that promote ethical AI development.
Exactly. And support workers who might be affected by these changes.
It's all about making sure that AI benefits everyone.
That's the goal.
Well, it's been an amazing journey exploring this topic with you.
It has been fascinating.
We've learned so much about Google's AI co-scientist and all the amazing things it's already doing and the incredible potential it has for the future.
I agree. It's been a real eye-opener.
But as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought. The future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create together.
I like that.
Through the choices we make, the conversations we have, and the actions we take.
It's up to all of us to shape the future we want.
Exactly. So thank you for joining us on this deep dive into AI and scientific discovery. We hope you've learned something new, been inspired to think critically, and maybe even feel a little more empowered to shape the future.
And until next time, keep those minds curious, keep asking those tough questions, and keep the conversation going.
Could have said it better myself.